Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name is Madison.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Things, streaming Yellowjackets this time. It's episode 4 of season 3, 12 angry girls and 1 drunk Travis.
Been there.
Is that a reference to something really obvious that people are going to make
12
fun of?
Angry Men.
12 Angry Men.
Oh, 12 angry, but
Yes.
and then 1 drunk Travis is just thrown in there.
Yeah.
Is he drunk?
That's what I was
No.
questioning that the whole time.
They could have just said 12 Angry Girls and it would be a
And
better
Travis.
title. Yeah. And
I
Travis.
guess. Travis.
That has to be a reference to something.
That's what I mean. Like,
The drunk part. I don't know.
Well, they directly reference 12 Angry Men in the episode.
Sure.
With like the one more time, that thing is a 12 Angry Men.
my question was, it can't just be 12 angry men, right? Because there's the 1 drunk Travis thing, but you're saying it's just 12 angry men and they threw that in.
I think so.
Interesting.
But was he drunk?
I thought on what?
I don't think he was. I think it's just them trying to make an edgy Yellowjackets title.
Was he crunk?
I guess.
Is crunk Coogee? Chugi?
Chugi.
Not Coogee, that's sweet.
Randy Travis was arrested in 2012 for public intoxication.
Andy, don't go down this. Take the tinfoil hat off.
Hold.
Anyway, we're going to talk about our overall thoughts on this episode. Theories are cooking up. The internet is aflame, and I don't like it.
Flame.
Well, Steve and you and I specifically talk a lot about how the show has always had this supernatural versus organic shtick and kind of toying with you beyond who is Pit Girl and when the fuck is Hillary Swank coming. There's the biggest mystery of, is this really happening or is it some sort of shared psychosis? And you and I have always been on the same team of like, they've gone so far that it better be supernatural at this point. The internet seems to wholly disagree.
That's so strange.
That
Yeah, that's strange to me.
They really want it to be non-supernatural, or I guess just natural. And this last episode, everybody was super convinced of what's going on now. And I wanted to talk to you guys.
12 Angry Girls and 1 Drunk Travis or last week's episode?
Last week's
Okay.
episode with the cave dreams at the end.
Yeah.
So actually a friend of mine, I think is the originator of this. His name is Freddie's roommate on TikTok. Justin is his name. Good guy. And he has this theory that
I just love that's his name. I know that's his like persona online, but like I have this friend, Freddie's roommate.
I live in a world where people have usernames and not names, you know?
Right.
Freddie's his dog. It is a cute nickname.
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah.
cute.
The gas in the cave. So he has this theory that the cave is actually it was a mining town that they were trying to form.
Oh yeah, I've heard this theory.
They hit the gas, and then they all fled because of the dangerous gas. And so that as soon as they crash landed there, they've been gassing this whole time. And so they're all like brain damaged and high, and which is like brain problems that would persist into adulthood because of that gas. There's more to it. That's, a lot of season 1 theories are still live and anyway, long story short, there is no supernatural stuff. They're all traumatized and poisoned and they all ate each other for no reason and all that shit. And I just kind of hate that. And people think it's like a really cool twist. And I'm like, at this point, you've cheated. I feel like.
I think. Well, also too, I feel like if you were to come to that conclusion, the older timeline doesn't really make sense because I feel like they would know that in their adulthood, right?
Will it get tested when they get back?
Yeah,
Kind of thing,
or I feel like because it would be such a big headlining event where these women were like crash landed and then they were found like a year and a half later. I can only imagine that like they would research what happened and like stuff like that.
There would be public knowledge that area is like a place you're not supposed to go in.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
So,
also true.
Yeah. So something I've been battling with as we've been exploring, honestly, since the end of season 2 and now beginning of season 3, I'm like, it's really hard for the adult timeline to like make sense in terms of like, why hasn't it taken so long to like come up with a solution of what's going on? Because I feel like, they're well into their 40s, I can imagine. And so it's been this long that they've kind of let it rest and, no one explored why the plane crashed and stuff like that. So I would be a little let down if it wasn't something supernatural. And I feel like they've let it go on this long, kind of just summarizing what you said. But
yeah, part of me feels like if there are these girls who are living in the wilderness for years and then they finally get rescued, do you think they would all get like medical examinations and someone be like, oh man, you guys were huffing poison gas for years?
yeah.
and one of the adults would have said that, like, we're suffering from gas. Like, I don't know. It feels like,
Or like the rescue team, like, whoa, pretty trippy down here.
yeah,
You know?
they also ate people. It was a really big deal.
Immediately.
It was like baby Jessica on crack.
Yeah, I just want to throw that out there. That's interesting. I like that. And it's weird because I typically am the opposite. When something turns out to be supernatural, when they play that game in a story, I'm usually like a little disappointed.
Oh, those aliens.
Aliens can be cool.
Yeah, no, I'm
That's
super,
not even
that's what I
supernatural.
want.
That's natural.
Yeah.
We also have a fairly new listener who's like caught up on Yellowjackets recently. So they've seen the older episodes more recently, much like Andy. We got this email I thought was kind of interesting. You guys are speculating on who Coach Scott is talking to in the cave, but Javi told us last season. I can't remember the exact dialogue, but either Travis or Coach asks Javi, where were you? And he says something like, she told me not to tell. And they say, who? And Javi just looks away. I think there's like a spirit down there, possibly the base of quote unquote its power.
Yeah.
I had forgotten
about that.
That Javi was down there yapping with somebody as well.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and maybe you, with the history of the show, Steve likely talked about this for a while.
I don't know. I don't know if no, I don't think I explicitly talked about it. I just assumed that's what we were operating under. Like, who is the spirit? I thought was the thing. But yeah, I remember. I remember that like Coach was going to show Nat where Javi was hiding because Javi showed
Javi's
Coach
hidey hole.
Yeah, his hidey hole. Yeah, Javi's hidey hole.
Yes.
Hi ho. Sorry.
Whisper through the tulips.
Nice.
All right, let's get into 12 Angry Girls and One Drunk Travis. Our overall thoughts, followed by the play-by-play recap and review. And we'll cap it all off with some choice cuts, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode, our honeycombs, any kind of, lore, tids and bits, references to the 90s, the colors, Duke, the colors, anything like that. Maybe Rugrats. Maybe,
I wish.
Maybe Doug. Anything we can pull out.
If those girls had
Jinkos,
access to Rugrats and Doug, they wouldn't have started killing each other.
Yeah.
low rise jeans, anything we can
Yikes.
pull up. Whale tails, get it, pull up. And then our buzzworthy performance, our favorite performance of the episode will be last. Madison, lay it on me. What did you think of episode 4?
Episode 4 has probably been my least favorite of the episodes thus far. I think and I don't know if it's because I do have some legal background, but
Are you saying this isn't legally accurate?
no, it's not. I'm not saying it's not legally accurate. I think the call to 12 Angry Men. I like when shows pay homage to like older cinema, and I think it's really clever and cool that they did that. But also too, like seeing how it just doesn't seem believable that these women would like know how to run a jury trial. And like, they do call to that, like Nat does make like mistakes and stuff.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. But it seemed a little like, I don't know, gimmicky a little bit. I'm like, come on, like they wouldn't really do something like this, I feel. And I really didn't care for the adult timeline this episode. Maybe it just caught me at a bad week, but I wasn't like super captivated by this episode at all. Although, I mean, the trial was cool. I liked kind of like seeing, how they're doing this. I think the performances during that were really good. But what was happening, I just was like, this is like whatever, not really interested. But there are a couple of like small moments that I thought were really cool. But yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts for this episode.
Andy.
Yeah, I also did not love this episode. It had some comedic moments that I thought were pretty great. Everything at the retirement home was super fun and enjoyable. Jeff having a good time chumming it up with the geriatric patients was comedy gold.
Jeff killing it in a geriatric home just makes sense.
Yeah.
You're just like, there's a man who found his place in the world finally after all these years.
So I love that. I love to see him in his element because he's kind of just been like along for the ride for the majority of the show. So him like, I don't know, feeling himself for a little bit was fun. I do think that this episode felt contrived, like a show that's gone on too long and they're like, what do we do next? You know what I mean? How can we drag this out further? I can't fucking believe that we still haven't gotten Hilary Swank. That's crazy to me at this point. especially 2 episodes. 2 episodes ago, we got What Does She Look Like? And we let that hang. It's just a fucking wet fart. But I thought that even though it felt really contrived and like obviously like not realistic at all, and nothing about the show is realistic, but like not realistic at all. And like, oh, we're gonna spend the time to make togas for our trial and stuff.
Toga.
I thought that the performances within the trial were good. I thought Ben was great. I thought that he was super interesting. I loved Misty. I always love Misty, adult and young Misty. Young Misty got to showcase a lot in this episode, and that was fun. Her like taking on the mantle of being the defense lawyer was pretty fire. But yeah, this episode was fine, but it felt like filler.
I'm gonna say the good things first, because in the moment, as the episode happened and it immediately ended, I was kind of like, up until like maybe the last 3 minutes, I was like, this is pretty fun. Like, I'm having a good time. It's contrived and no one is acting like a real person would act, but it's fun to watch. And I was having, specifically with the trial, I thought the trial was fun. It was making me laugh. Actually, it had one of the most emotional moments of the show for me is in the trial, Coach Ben's part. But also it was a little infuriating because I wanted to reach to the screen and shake people, be like, why aren't you talking about this? Why aren't you saying like Ben saved Shauna? Why, like all this stuff? But I still had a good time with it. And then as the week progressed, and I was thinking more, because I watched this I watched it on Friday, so it's only been a couple days since I've seen it. But over the last couple days, when I keep thinking about this episode, the more and more I just get worried and worried and worried about this show. Like, I've always been a little worried about it, but I feel like we're watching the show come apart in real time at the seams, unfortunately, because even though I had fun with the show, there are things in this episode that are glaringly obvious that they don't know what the fuck they're doing with certain characters at all. Like the whole, what happens to adult Lottie at the end of this episode is so, they want it to be a shock, and it is shocking, but it's also like, okay, what the, like, and not in a good way. Cause I feel like they just gave up on adult Lottie, just completely gave up on that character. Cause I mean, we talked about it last season. They had built up adult Lottie because back then young Lottie was like kind of starting to get a little weird. Ooh, what's adult Lottie like? Oh, she's not like how we thought. But then it seemed like they're building her up to this idea that they had sort of built up for her. And then they're starting to do something else. Oh, she went to the psych ward. Don't worry about that. And now she's gone. Don't worry about, I don't know. It just feels very, what are we doing? And then what young Nat's doing at the trial, it's like, she's not even really doing all that much. And she seems like a fool. And it's very uncharacteristic of her, I feel like. And it just seems to me like they didn't know, like Juliette Lewis wanted to leave the show. Now they don't know what to do with the character Nat. They don't know what to do with Lottie. So they got rid of Simone. I'm forgetting her last name. Thank you. And apparently Simone Kessel feels the same way, because a lot of people are finding articles and interviews of her, like the writers they didn't have a plan and stuff like that. And she's liking posts of people like criticizing the writing of this season. So apparently she feels the same way. And just someone on Reddit, I didn't write down their username, but someone on Reddit wrote something that I feel like is so perfectly sums up what season 3 has been so far, where every episode feels like a lot happens, but also nothing happens. And I think that's very true. And while I had fun with this episode, I don't feel better about the series at the end of it. I'm much more like, oh, what are they going to do? How are they going to fix this plane? Because much like the plane in the first season, it doesn't look good.
Which plane?
Both of them.
But what about you, Kent?
I loved it.
I have like a more positive outlook, but in a negative way.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Are you Reddit man?
Did you write the post?
That's my username.
Reddit man.
Ellie's roommate.
Ellie's roommate, you poor fool.
AKA Reddit man. It's really unwieldy. I like this episode. I like the show. And it's because I gave up on it in the middle of season 2 or something. In a weird, that's what I mean by in a negative way. Like I realized they weren't going to land this ship a while ago. And so now it's just kind of like, I don't believe in guilty pleasures when it comes to TV and film. You know what I mean? Like people ask me that all the time. Like, what's your top 5 guilty pleasure movies? I'm like, if I like them, I don't feel guilty about it. But it is the Charlie's Angels reboot with Kristen Stewart.
Okay.
Love that movie. But yeah, it would be the closest thing. This show would be the closest thing to describing that for a TV show for me. Cause it's like, I don't think they're going to land this plane. I agree with you, Steve. Like they've completely lost the plot on a number of their characters, but specifically Shauna, like young Shauna is kind of like awfully uncomfortable to watch. And she's like, for all intents and purposes, the closest thing we have to a protagonist. Mm-hmm. And like, you just can't stand the lady now. And it's like, that's uncomfortable.
It is, but I don't necessarily, I feel like Shauna's the only one they have a hold on where they're going with, though. Like, I think they're purposely making her the villain in both timelines. To me, it reeks of them having a plan for her. Whereas, like, whenever they cut to Lottie, young Lottie now, even before they killed off adult Lottie, I was like, I don't feel like they truly know what they're doing.
But I don't like the plan.
Well, okay.
You're like, I'm just glad they have one. I'm like, but I don't like it. Like, the show was... True. Shauna's Shauna's surprisingly handy with a blade. Misty's fucking crazy as fuck, but hilarious. Natalie is damaged and tough. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Travis is just with babs. And like, that was the show. And that's what I miss. Like they finally got back to Sammy Hanratty in this episode. And like, she's great. Mm-hmm. And you just haven't known what to do with her for like 7 episodes. And like, yeah, so they've kind of just like lost their way with all of the best characters. The only thing hold me in is like Jeff is awesome.
Yeah, he's great.
I never thought Jeff would be my favorite character, but it's like,
it's so interesting to hear. Cause like, even though I found the Jeff stuff entertaining, in the back of my head, I'm like, I don't care that much about, I'd rather them focus on the other people.
But here's why Jeff is a breath of fresh air. Okay. Lottie just tried to kill you. Your daughter is in danger of becoming the worst person imaginable because of you're a terrible mother, but like also like there's literal murderers and stuff around. And Jeff comes in like, guys, no, Lottie can't stay here. What? Like, and of course, as the audience, you're like, of course she can't.
Right.
And so it's like, he's become this like, oh, this is all just as insane as you can possibly make it. And Jeff has become this voice of reason, and which you desperately need, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. And he's funny. He's handsome.
He is funny. Like, I like him in that role, but like the whole, like, we're at a karma deficit. Let's go volunteer at the old folks home. It's like a fun little side quest. But I also don't know how much it adds to the narrative of the show. And I feel like they need to really focus on what they need to focus on. I feel like that's what feels like padding to me. Well, again, it's enjoyable and I'm having fun with it, but it's not, making me feel better about the overall vision and plan.
I definitely feel like season 1 had this specific tone, this specific direction, and they were giving the audience this specific like energy that I feel like they've definitely shifted away from that to a more like lightheartedness, silly, goofy. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm picking it up. Like
it is less horror show, more horror comedy.
Yes. Because like I feel what I really liked about Jeff and Shauna's dynamic was there was the in between was Jackie was like, oh, Shauna betrayed Jackie, slept with Jeff. Now they're married, and like that guilt. But we're really not revisiting that a whole lot. I forget if that was like a conversation and they've like resolved that, but I liked that when there was a little bit of tension between the two of them, but now they're just kind of like, I don't know, normal suburban parents that have these weird, like dark secrets of murder. And
hey, that saved their relationship, Madison.
Yeah.
They were bonded through trauma and crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the tone has just shifted tremendously for me to even say that season 3 and season 1 are like the same show, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I agree.
It feels very different, and I'm sure it's just a combination of them maybe trying to figure out how to land these characters and give them the arcs that they deserve, but it's just taking a long time.
I think that the tonal shifts within seasons can be done really effectively, and I think of like Stranger Things. Remember season 3 was like became this like 80s comedy Fletch thing. And like it felt unlike anything else that Stranger Things had done. And I think that they're trying to do that to some extent here, but also trying to have their cake and eat it too, like trying to retain the bits of the spoopies that they established early on, but they're just like, yeah, they don't know what to do with anybody. Like you said about Lottie, that came out of nowhere, and that felt like almost like a retcon where the writers are like, we probably should have killed her at the end of season 2.
Yeah. Well, and it's in a weird way, knowing what happens to Nat and, well, Nat specifically, but now even Lottie, like I'm looking at those young characters just wondering, like, I don't know, in a weird way, it makes me less invested in them. I don't know. Like,
no, I agree.
Like I'm totally like Travis is fun, but like this whole season, I'm just like, what are you even doing? Like,
yeah.
And just the fact that like we weren't even given like adult Travis really. That's a bummer because that could have been an interesting plot line to go through.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're in a weird, the show's in a weird growing pain.
Do you remember back in the day when the glory days when it was like, is Adam Javi?
Yeah.
What if Adam's her baby?
Yeah. Who is Adam?
You know?
He's just some guy.
Andy missed all that, but
I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh my God. The theories around the true identity of Adam.
Honestly, I wish
wild.
he was Javi. That would have been so crazy.
Yeah. No, Javi's
just some
Javi's
dude.
dead. Javi's
ate
been
him.
digested.
I was talking to Andy on the way here because we carpool, and
Cute.
what's interesting is that they've turned when is Hilary Swank going to show up into one of the mysteries of the plot by, on purpose. Like they did a casting release a year ago. Hilary Swank's joining this season. So they know every episode, everybody's waiting for the Academy Award winning actress to show up. And so it's like, who is Pit Girl? When is Hilary Swank coming? Is like the two big mysteries of the show. And because of the plot of season 3, what if Hilary Swank is Pit Girl? They just combine like literal Hilary Swank. Guys, Academy winning actress, leave me alone.
But she's still playing herself, so they kill
Exactly.
Academy Award winning Hilary
Exactly.
Swank.
She's like, I don't know why I'm here. I was told I had an audition.
Why am I in this pit?
I don't typically have to audition. It looks like they have a red herring. I think what's going to happen this season is they're setting it up because it seems very obvious that Hilary Swank is probably Melissa, and that is who shut the freezer door. That is who. I guess the brakes just went out, but like she's behind everything. She killed Lottie, but I think it's going to actually be Walter. And in some kind of tragic, now we're bonded, just like, and then Misty's going to like kill him. These are my real friends. That's probably how this season's going to end. I'm going to hate it because I love Walter. And Melissa's going to be a red herring and she's not behind any of this. She's there to help. I don't know, man.
Young Shauna killed her forever ago.
Like Melissa be stroking that ego pretty
I didn't know
hard.
where you were going with that. I was like,
Hold on.
You don't have any faith in me, and it's a little annoying.
How ballsy would it be if they're like, guys, Hilary Swank, we cast her for season 3. It's great. And they're like, let's write Melissa to make it look like Hilary Swank.
she's janitor number 3.
Yeah, like she's like,
I'm also nervous about
closing
that
up
too.
today, Misty. Okay. And, and that's all we see at Hilary Swank. How ballsy would that be? I kind of would love that.
That would kind of be awesome.
This is so unrelated, but I was like, in preparation for Hilary Swank, I'm going to watch some of her movies that I haven't seen.
Ghost Ship?
Which is, is she in that?
I doubt it.
No, she's not. But I watched Iron Jawed Angels, which is about the suffragette movement. It was kind of a bad movie. Like
I don't like the title. I feel like I've seen that on a DVD and like one of Andy's dad's rooms or something.
It was like cool because it was the suffragette movement, but I was like, this is it's just not good. But anyway, I don't know. I was just anyway, that was just a little thing I wanted to share with you guys.
Baby.
Yeah.
Iron Jawed Angels 9.
Yeah. I had to pay for $1 Million Baby, so I didn't watch it.
I prefer Iron Jawed Angels number 12. They really found their footing.
Let me make sure that's what it's called. I'm pretty sure.
I don't like it at all. You gotta watch
Iron Jawed
Boys Don't
Angels.
Cry. Got Chloe Savini in it too. Don't watch Messenger. That's a different movie.
All being said, I've been critical of this episode. I just do want to reiterate. I did have fun watching it. It was a fun time.
They could come back too. I want to be
they
clear
can-
about
yeah,
that.
They absolutely can.
I got really worried mid-season 2 and I was like, I'm just going to have fun. And now I'm like, I'm just going to really focus on the fun. Where's Walter? Give me Walter. But they're not doing anything I would do, which I'm not a writer. Nobody gives a fuck about me. But like, I think there's a really neat show here. But shows have bad seasons. Like sometimes they don't have a good one until 5, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I fell in love with season 1, and like I think I became really ingrained in who these characters were, and like I think for me, my heart wanted to see like the story brought to justice, and you know, it's an all women cast, and like you know
plus Travis,
right?
Whoa.
And, whoa, how could I forget him? But I guess for me, it hasn't been paying off as much as I would have liked it to be, and so for me, it's just like. A bummer. So I'm like, I guess my standards for the show have definitely gone down a little bit. I am enjoying it. Like I am critiquing it as like, you know, how I was feeling in season 1 versus now. So it's like, yeah, I'm going to be hard on it. But at the same time, like I'm enjoying being with these characters. I like these performances. I like these actors and actresses. So I am having a good time, but it's just, I'm not super thrilled with where we're at in the story and what's happening.
Yeah, they're definitely going through some growing pains. I feel like right now, like I feel like they definitely changed where they were going in some plot lines. I'm sure Juliette Lewis wanting to leave really kind of made them pivot. Mm-hmm. But I think I still
now that Negan's here, I don't know what's going on.
But I think once they kind of, you know, pivot, do the work, do the growing pain parts, it's going to be rough for a little bit. But I do think there's still a chance that once they get that foundation rebuilt, they can recover. I just hope it's sooner rather than later.
Yeah. We're not in the middle of season 4.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. Just need more Walter. I can fix it right now.
What does this show about women need? A white man.
A man.
If that man is Elijah Wood.
That's true.
I don't think anyone's going to fight that. Oh, okay.
He's
bad.
an honorary lesbian.
That's true. That's true. Thank you. That's how I felt as
Thank
well.
you, Madison.
You're welcome.
But this episode
Have
starts.
you seen his outfit? Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
That's exactly what
Do
a
you wear
lesbian
wigs?
would wear.
It's time for the recap. But first, a quick word from one of our sponsors. And we're back. We're going to do a complete recap and review. Steve, what does Paramount Plus have to say about the content of this episode?
Well, Paramount describes 12 angry girls and one drunk Travis thusly. The Yellowjackets attempt to spin 100 suspicions into proof. That's it.
Okay.
I started laughing because is this a 12 Angry Men and 2 Girls, 1 Cup joke combined?
Maybe it could be.
Is that what that
That was
is?
so dramatic.
Am I one of the
I'm
girls of the
sure
cup?
That's crazy.
I am the cup.
He's the cup.
Oh,
I could only dream.
that just took me back to middle school, like hallway.
Oh, no.
Just the people talking about it, not the act of it.
No. I know.
I had to clarify. Who knows where your mind goes?
No, never there.
Oh, that brings me back.
Very traumatic experience. God.
Back in the past of the show is where we start. They're walking the coach back from the cave, not the cage. He goes into a cage. Shauna and the girls are discussing the dreams a little bit.
Could it have been a message?
Shauna's downplaying like they weren't that crazy. Something I think.
A slapperus only tried to cut my head off. It's no big deal.
What if
big
they were a
deal.
message? Yeah, stay out of that cave. That's the message. And Coach like sees their camp for the first time. He's like, "Oh shit, they're doing like a whole thing. They're doing a whole thing here.
This is like the Ewok village in Return of the Jedi. This is dope."
Where are they at?" And Shauna's like, "It's time to kill him."
Well, did you see when they're walking up, Travis is sleeping in his little cot and he wakes up and he's still holding that little wolf
What?
carving? The wolf carving. And he's just kind of like, my little wolfie.
Well, I miss my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And Nat's like, "No, we're not going to kill him." And Lottie's like, "Yeah, it must decide." And she's like, "No, that's not what I mean either. We're going to have a trial. We're going to do the whole thing, guys."
Coach deserves a chance to tell his story. Executive producer Dick Wolf.
And she says that it's going to be a vote with a 2/3 majority, and Ty will run the prosecution, and they suggest Misty be his defense attorney. And she does not want to do that at first. She's like, no, what? I never passed the bar.
I never passed the bar. I was actually shocked that she was like, Misty, you're doing it. Because at first I'm like, that's a terrible idea. She has done some messed up things to him. But then as they kind of explain, I'm like, oh, actually, if you really want him to have a decent shot at doing it, Misty's the one, because Misty will get competitive enough and take her job seriously enough that she will,
Plus the writers remembered her.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Oh, Samantha Hanratty.
Oh, yeah.
Love her.
Back in the present, Shauna's at the shop with the van. She realizes the van had a bad brake booster and it was not tampered with. So she's trying to make it a thing where Misty did it. She's like, oh, okay. Anyway, that's not what happened.
This may be the most unrealistic part of the episode, because if I took my car to the shop,
the mechanic was honest, and
the mechanic would be like, yeah, you broke a brake booster. That'll cost you about $500. Also, it looked like your flux capacitor has some holes. Gonna have to fix that up. That's another $15,000. Tires need rotated too. We'll put you down for that. How much? You want good tires?
They do typically rotate vertically. We're gonna rotate them horizontally.
Yeah, just to be stinkers.
Because they're circles.
Just to be stinkers.
Also, go wait in the waiting room for 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah. And by the way, an oil change.
Oh, definitely need oil change. I'm gonna put you on for the real expensive shit.
You got water.
Fully synthetic AI, actually, and also fuck you.
Also, while you're here, you want to talk to my brother Tony? He's gonna try to sell you a new car.
It is quicker just to trade it in. Jeff says that it's karma. That's why their van brake booster broke. And he's like, I didn't stop them from killing Kevin. That's why the van doesn't stop. I actually thought that was really funny.
It is.
Just somebody like really reaching here to connect things.
This is a man that's really breaking down his moral compass is like, he just can't handle it. Like the things he's done the last couple years. It's like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. I can relate as somebody who eats gummy clusters for breakfast. Doesn't feel good.
You ate the Easter themed gummy clusters today.
Yeah, there was like hoppin' flavor. Lottie apparently has a bunch of money. The bank is like trying to call her a car and stuff. She's wearing a fur coat now, which was an interesting. I don't remember. I guess we knew that. I don't remember knowing that, but I probably knew that.
Well, her family's rich.
Yeah.
She also ran a cult for a while, so she has all those people's money.
Yeah, that takes capital.
Yeah.
Unless it looks like a man's. And it depends. Once we saw what the cult looked like, it was like, oh, that takes capital. You can do it cheaply.
I wonder if this scene is meant to sort of set up something that's going to happen later in the season. Like, was Lottie working with the bank to get her money? Like, if something were to happen to her, it would go to someone. Like, is all of her money going to go to Lottie and Shauna and Callie? Yeah.
I bet it's going to go to Callie.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And Callie's just like, starts her own cult.
Yeah, because Lottie
with pancakes.
It's so weird, like the way they show Lottie, because like Lottie knows what she's doing, but we have no fucking idea what she's doing. But like by the end of the episode, when that reveal happens, like, oh, I didn't know she was in danger,
right,
at all.
She was going to try to apologize to somebody.
Yeah,
Melissa. We don't know.
It could have been Ty.
A lot of people. I saw a theory that it was Van that killed Lottie. Which is why her hand was shaking at the pretzel stand, because she had just done a murder.
Okay.
I would enjoy that.
Okay.
You guys like that?
I like that. I think it's one of those two. My money. It's one of those two.
What, Van or Melissa?
Or Ty.
Oh, Van or Ty?
Yeah.
You think Taissa?
It's the other Ty.
I thought Taissa was going to sneak back and kill that dude. With her Ty?
Other Ty. Remember?
Oh, yeah. She'd be like eating mud and stuff.
Other Ty's like, we are going to kill that other guy and Lottie.
Other Ty got more advanced. She went from mud pies to plotting a murder.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm tired of eating this dirt. I'm going to kill somebody. But yeah, Ty calls her while she's walking out of the bank, and she hangs up on her because Taissa wants to be her friend now. Like, look, I'm in. I'm actually drinking the Kool-Aid. I need the Kool-Aid. I need Mr. Kool-Aid now. But Lottie's like, oh no, and hangs up.
Sorry, can't hear you. Construction site.
Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to go get murdered. Back in the past, Lottie's, I guess she's like pulling some herbs. I don't know what those are. Parsley, maybe, rosemary, sage, thyme. We're not sure. Akila comes up and she wants to help with the cave shit. You know, she
Keela, who was pretty resistant to Lottie about being like the wilderness representative, like, okay, so this thing happened in a cave.
She's like Taissa in the past. Like, actually, I do want to like get weird and pray and stuff. Let's do this.
It felt like it was the truth.
Misty rolls up and clocks Coach. Sick of your shit. And he's like, you have always been weird to me. I don't know why you're hitting me. This is bullshit. He says, I didn't burn down your cabin, right? And then she's like, well, we're going to get you out of this, right? We're going to get justice.
We're going to win this.
It's like, oh, with a high school mock trial, I'm in a jail with birds. This is all a farce. They're going to kill me. And
is the jail with birds line a saying I'm not accustomed to?
In England, they call women birds.
Oh, okay. So if this was a scene with
birds have wings and he's trying to fly away.
Birds love it when I walk like this. No, I don't. I think it's just he's with chickens and it's silly.
Oh, okay. But so if the scene was Travis, he would be like, I'm in a jail with Babs. It's like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
I've never isn't a lie to you now.
and Misty says, you can't say shit like that out there. If we're going to win this, my retainer is $5,000.
You will pay me when we get out of the wilderness.
That's right. Back in the present, Jeff has been getting tips on how to reverse bad karma
on WikiHow.
Better than Cora.
That's true.
What about Ask Jeeves?
Yeah, Jeeves never lets you down.
Nobody asks Jeeves anymore. We found out
that's
Jeeves
what's wrong with the fucking world. We stopped listening to Jeeves.
Jeeves was the original Google AI. He was always on some bullshit.
And be like, what? How tall is Javi? You'd be like, he is Javi height.
Yes.
You would get that really bad AI.
That's right. You got to click the drop down, Steve.
I don't want to.
He found a 2-year-old missing cat flyer, and he's going to find that cat.
I fucking love this, dude.
Jeff's great.
I'm gonna find this cat.
That's right. Major points. And Callie comes down and she's on some bullshit. She's really mad that Lottie got kicked out.
She's on some bullshit.
It's like, why are we doing charity now? And
ew, pores.
Shauna's like, why charity? What? And yeah, she's like, don't bring Lottie's fucking name. She pulls a Will Smith. She slaps the shit out of Callie. She's like, keep Lottie's name out of your mouth. I did like the bootleg Rush Hour DVDs plug.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm. Not only is it Rush Hour, it's bootleg.
Yep.
I didn't know Jeff rolled like that. And he breaks down emotionally. He's like, I just need to do some good. And that's when Shauna sees her husband just needing this emotionally. She's like, okay, honey. Okay. All right.
Wuss.
I signed us up to do some volunteer work. And Callie's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm out. Taissa and Van are like, they look like they're scouting a heist. They've got like nondescript baseball caps and leather jackets on.
They've got the Marvel MCU incognito outfit where it's like a hoodie, a jacket, and a baseball cap.
That's right. But also Ben Affleck and how he dresses to go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
It never works. It's very clearly Ben Affleck. He could switch to any kind of different coffee and throw them off their game, but he refuses. America runs on Dunkin' and he knows it.
Affleck runs on Dunkin'.
Affleck. They're running a test to see if the spirit is going to choose someone. So they pull the Queen of Hearts. They lay it on the ground. Terrible test.
It makes no fucking sense, dude.
I love this little like montage that happens.
A 20 to it. Someone picked it up.
Oh my God. Almost immediately.
Yeah.
I love this little montage of them going like,
When the
oh no, the kid!
Oh no, don't choose the kid.
God.
Do you think the guy that because they buy it off of just like a side little store cart place, and they like put the card down 20 feet away. Do you think the guy they sold it to was like, the fuck you doing? That's not how you play cards.
Yeah.
What kind of game is this? I like how the dude that's very clearly going to go flash his nuts at a hockey game picks it up.
That dude was so.
He's just got a trench coat.
Everyone else that like looks at it is
They
like,
follow
what
him
is
into
that?
a theater and he starts jacking off, and they're like, "Oh,
man,
this sucks.
This is just sad."
The spirit's weird today."
They get to their apartment and he takes off a mask and it's Hillary's wife.
Of course.
Of course.
She's a great actor.
She's such a good actor.
I didn't. Back in the past, Van is like the bailiff of this mock trial. And Natalie's going to, of course, be the judge. Big reveal. She's got the antlers. Who's the antler queen?
I love her judge chair, which is just a plain chair.
Yeah.
That's cool.
A fun little set design.
I do like their wardrobe where they've, integrated the plain seatbelts, and I don't know what their garbs are, but it's all materials from the plane. I've always really liked the wardrobe for doing that. I think it's really cool. A little unnecessary, but cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Maury is called to the stand.
Fucking Maury. I love how we call him Maury. And she's like, oh, what? Fuck.
Am I involved in this?
Oh, shit. Me?
Misty tells Coach to smile because in the court of a public opinion matters just as much, right?
Yeah. The people versus Benjamin Scott.
They swear Maury in. Natalie takes the antlers off, which I thought was a fun little touch because they're uncomfortable. So it's like, I'm the antler queen. Actually, I'm not. This isn't for me.
I just think because Nat doesn't, she's not like a full believer or anything. So she's kind of like, okay, get the shit off me.
And Lottie does the swearing in, which is funny. But then eventually Natalie rushes her on back to the Christianity roots of the whole premise, right? And they object. They overrule. They sustain. It's fun stuff, right?
Traumatic is technically an opinion.
That's right. And payback is Maury's big. That's the prosecution's claim in this instance, that the coach was wanting payback. And then Misty does a cross examination.
Well, I
pointed at Shauna essentially.
Well, she made the point that Coach was worried that they would want payback on him.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah. And that's why he was hesitant.
Payback for what? Unless he did something.
Like a guilty guy?
Payback like that movie with Mel Gibson or not. Back in the present. They're volunteering at Misty's job is the big reveal. And I did like that. Like they needed a way for Shauna to get in Misty's face even after that
little spat.
Yeah, the spat that they had. We're probably not even going to see Misty. And they see Misty immediately. And Shauna's like super rude to Misty. She very obviously owes her an apology because we found out it was the brake booster, And she's like, what's up, bitch? And it's like, hey, I don't think you should be doing that at this point. Even though Misty did some things that we all know about. She deserves derision.
I love the stank they're giving each other, though. It is a fun energy.
It's fun.
Like Shauna's like, what do I have to apologize for? Oh, that list could take a while. Do you have a few days? Like Christina Ricci just digging in. So good.
Yeah, she's always so great. But she puts her on tapioca duty, which is the worst thing. By the way, at that job, there is no way tapioca duty is the worst thing you do all day. No fucking way. I'm gonna leave it there, but we all know
volunteers wipe asses and shit.
Yeah. What's so funny, Misty's logic behind it when that's revealed is so funny because of course Misty's like, "Oh, what does Shauna do all day? Oh, she's a boring housewife. Oh, I'll make her do boring housewife shit and have her cook tapioca. Oh, great!"
And Shauna's just in there like,
yeah.
Back in the past, Shauna is on the stand at this point. And Misty accuses Shauna of potentially burning down the cabin.
I'm building a narrative.
And this works, basically. But then Ty wants a redirect. And I like how I think it's a fun shtick where Natalie is like, okay. The judge has no idea what's going on,
I don't know what that is.
And Taissa reminds, what did he do when you were in labor? He just left me. He came in and said something about a VHS player, which is called a VCR. And I thought it was weird to call it a VHS player. Back in
she said press play on a VHS tape.
I know. It's a bad bit. It was a bad bit, Steve. Back in the present, Taissa and Van are following the card man still. That's all that scene is. And then they're playing bingo at the old folks' home, and Randy sucks.
B9.
Randy's not a good DJ.
Has Randy always worked here? I can't remember.
He doesn't work there. He's
also volunteering.
It's community service for his DUIs.
Yeah.
Did he say that? Yeah. Okay,
Jeff did. He told Shauna that he got advice from Randy on where to volunteer because of his
okay.
DUIs. He's always doing community service.
Okay, I totally missed that. So when he popped up, like, does this guy just have 9 jobs now?
And Jeff is crushing with his dad jokes. Now this is bingo. Little Anakin Skywalker's there in the old folks' home.
Yeah, wizard.
It's working. It's work. Bingo. I mean,
B9, as in that biopsy came back. B9.
that was good. But what was the other one?
46th and final time someone leaves the Bengay next to the toothpaste.
Yeah, that one was a stretch.
That was a stretch.
That
But
was
hey,
yeah.
hey,
They're loving
They
it.
ate it.
Carl loved it.
Do what about hemorrhoids?
What's up with Misty and Svetlana? Did I miss something?
No, there was just a note. She had a letter there, and she's
Why is she like stealing her letter and putting a black light on it and shit?
She thinks it's from Walter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you pick that up?
She said, was
"Is
Walter
this
here?
from Walter?"
That's a good clue.
Kind of like me saying, like, how did Randy get there? So
They're going to make fun of me in the Patreon again. I'm sick of this shit.
I just work here.
Shauna's jamming out in the kitchen with the tapioca. She will not apologize to Misty. I apologize for not knowing what I'm sorry for. And then I don't like this trope where we get like a murder, but it's just a fantasy thing, you know?
Yeah.
She fantasizes about stabbing.
Well, this was in the trailer, and I'm like, stinkers.
Oh, that's double worse.
Yeah.
Put the Shauna stab in the trailer.
Yeah, it was in the trailer.
Haven't they done this already this
down.
season where it's like someone does a murder, but not really?
Mm,
Am I thinking of one of the other 500 shows we were covering at the moment?
probably.
Okay.
This happens a lot, you know? the
I
duo.
hate it too.
Especially in horror movies, you know, this is like a
Yeah.
thing. Like, Misty goes to leave. She's like, I'm fucking out of here. You can't just leave work whenever you want, I don't think.
She does all the time, apparently.
Does, dude.
She runs that place.
Yeah.
And then she's really petty and she takes Svetlana's puzzle pieces. That's honestly, I've literally watched Misty kill innocent people. And I was never as offended or upset or shocked as when she took Svetlana's puzzle piece. It's just a lady abandoned by her family in an old, you know what I mean? In this strange place with shitty food and strangers. And she's getting one little piece of joy in life. But because she's 96, she had to piss in the middle. And now she's not. When you have a puzzle you can't finish, this might be the last puzzle Svetlana ever does. This is the most.
She died that night.
This is the most fucked up thing
From heartbreak.
Misty has ever done. Am I wrong?
It's pretty
This
fucked
is
up.
so
It is
petty and
fucked up.
pointless.
Well,
Ugh.
we know Misty is does do elder abuse at
We
that place.
do, but that other lady sucked, and it was
true.
kind of satisfying, you know. Like, you're putting this is the wrong one, lady. But this Svetlana's a sweet lady. I got a letter. Is that from Walter? Who's Walter? God damn it, Svetlana! It's like, huh?
Where's my puzzle pieces?
Oh, well,
I'm
It's not
gonna
like
jump
she
out
took
this
one.
window.
I
She
guess-
took like 4.
I guess these puzzle pieces are wherever my daughter
It
is.
looks like she took all the pieces that were left. Like she
Yeah.
was like 10 pieces away from finishing. She's like, never.
No.
You're done now, Svetlana.
So sad.
Put it back in the community box. All right.
Honestly, I hope if Misty ever dies, it's Svetlana that does it.
Oh, God. Svetlana's pit girl.
Hello?
Are these what my puzzle pieces are?
It's
Is this
like,
where I'm finna be?
it's like a line of seniors going for the watch and stabbing her.
Yeah. And then we see Lottie practicing her apology in a mirror. We don't know to whom she's going to apologize, but we can, I guess, assume, which Misty reminds us what that does. Makes an ass out of you and me, Steve. Mostly me.
I thought Simone's acting in this scene was really good.
That the person killed her. Yeah. Back in the past, Lottie is on the stand now. And this is damning evidence for the defense. It could have been anyone who doesn't believe. Could have been anyone in general who burned down the cabin. That's room enough for reasonable doubt. Shauna, Jen, Natalie, Melissa, none of them are big believers. Even Ty herself.
Is this the part where she mentions Jen and Jen's in the crowd like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I'm barely in this show. Fuck you.
Melissa, go either way. Was that a bisexual joke?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to.
I thought that was funny.
I put ha ha.
Verbatim.
Could have been any one of us. Lottie's testimony is damning. But then Shauna asks Ty what her plan is. I was just going to rest, but now it's not looking good for the defense. And that's when Shauna spills the beans that Natalie knew where Coach was hiding this whole time. It changes the whole tactic of the defense.
Misty hoisted
How long
by
have
her
you
own
known
petard.
Shauna? Well, that's not the fucking point, Ty.
What are you asking me for? Ask her.
Back in the present, Shauna knocks down some frozen burger patties in the walk-in. I don't know how the walk-in doesn't open. Those open from the inside, and there's nothing blocking it. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it's...
There was an emergency push button.
Yeah, there's buttons how you open it. Yeah.
So I was confused why it wasn't opening.
Yeah.
It's just probably just a defunct old...
I've been in a broken walk-in that doesn't open, but
right.
it's cold in there.
It can get quite cold.
Also, there's usually I don't know about an old folks home, but it's usually where you drink beer and stuff if you're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She could have found the foldies.
One of my, the biggest scares I've ever had in my life, like one of those, I was working at the hotel and you go into the walk-in freezer to get away from people. If
Was
you need
it
a second.
that same guy you always found naked in his room? It was in there.
He was
God
in there.
damn it,
Hello?
Frank.
Hello?
It's cold in here, Steve.
Hello, Steve. But no, I walked in, I thought by myself.
Oh, God.
And so my back is facing the door. So I'm just looking straight ahead, man, it's been a rough day. Just getting centered. And there's a lot of,
That's also where you cry. It's the walk-in.
it
in the
is.
restaurant.
Yes, that is true. Guilty of that as well. We had a lot of Russians who worked at the hotel in a weird way.
Why are you crying?
Well,
Give me my
they were,
vodka.
They were the sweetest ladies ever. They're all a bunch of Russian ladies. They were the sweetest ladies ever. But so I sit in there, and apparently I forget her name. I think her name was Ganya. She had walked in behind me, and I didn't hear her. And so I'm standing there, just kind of just collecting my thoughts. And she came up. Her head is right by my ear, and she just goes, "We had donuts in the back."
I thought you were going to say you ripped the biggest fart.
I know, that would have been worse. But yeah, she you have oh my God! Fell backwards. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Did not mean to scare.
You do not like
I just
donuts.
want you to know about donuts.
Krispy Kreme.
You soy boy, so weird. Don't like donuts."
They are from potatoes. They are potato donuts.
Shout out to my girl Ganya.
Shout out Ganya. Yeah, I don't know where we were at on this, man.
Is this when we see
Jackie.
nice one Shipman?
Yeah.
He's in there.
Jackie's in there.
Jackie does. Yeah, she's always she's summoned by cold, I guess. Remember when she was in the freezer, but it was just the freezer in the woods because it was wintertime? That's where they kept her body. That's where this first started.
Oh,
where
yeah.
Shauna was always hanging out with her dead body.
But she's seen Jackie in her room.
Adult
Yeah.
Shauna has?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, freezer
She's not
Jackie's
summoned by
meaner
Frozen.
though.
You're right. You're right.
Freezer friend Jackie's where he goes down. Ty and Van are still sneaking around following that guy. They go to his apartment building and Taissa wants to go into his apartment and I guess kill him. And Van's like, I don't think we should kill him. And she's like, I need more time with you. Fuck him. He's clearly going to flash his dick at people. Why else get that jacket? That's the only thing that jacket is for. And Van says, can we just enjoy the time we have left?
I want to live, but not like this.
This scene really made me mad because the door is partially open.
Yeah, he's like, hello?
The motherfucker just walked in and they're talking in his doorway. How is
Excuse
he
me?
not hearing them?
He drew a nice bubble bath. And
He has his
He's
AirPods
standing
in.
on the other side with a knife.
Oh, come on.
Come on.
No, he's just waiting to show his wiener. It's in my apartment. I can't get in trouble. This is perfect. It's the moment I've been waiting for my entire life.
you don't want to know what I'm going to do with this playing card.
And she says, wait, new plan. Meet me by the edge of the park. Take the PATH train, Columbus Circle. Boom, bang, boom. Back in the past, Taissa's last witness is Natalie. And she breaks her down. She's like, this trial was just another desperate attempt to save the coach, which is true. Fuck you. Prosecution rests, right? And everybody's like,
I love when Nat kind of goes like, fuck you, I'm the judge. Objection, sustained. Like she's...
I'm the judge and the witness. That's right. It's a weird trial. And then Misty takes a deep breath. I call Coach Benjamin Scott.
Maybe we should have led with that.
You gotta build the narrative, build the tension.
Well, it's dangerous to call the what's it called, the defense.
Well, the
Defendant.
To me,
Defendant,
the
there you go.
contrived thing is that they found Coach and they weren't like, "What the fuck have you been doing here this whole time? Did you try to kill us, motherfucker?"
No, okay.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Also, I have Cliff Bars. Does that change your mind?
I have bat. Freshly
protein.
made.
Back in the present, Jeff is killing it with the old ladies. Randy's getting really upset and jealous. I come here every Tuesday. Now you're coming in, big dick swinging, taking on my friends. I don't like this. No, Randy, why don't you go get us some snacks?
Some
Hey,
beers
guys.
for the table.
What is a lot of balls and screws everyone in the room? Bingo. I'm saving that anytime I go into an old folks home. I'm spitting that out.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
You should just drop that at bingo. That would crush on a Wednesday night.
No, that's probably like, okay, we've heard that one.
You think? Get some daubers and go try it.
You guys played bingo? Like
My
go-to
mom
bingo
liked
halls?
bingo,
Yeah.
but no, that's the only reason I know. Like she had daubers. There's a little markers that boop boop.
Yeah.
I think the last time that I played bingo, I was a child.
Yeah, in school they would have us play bingo.
Yeah. I don't think I've played bingo since school too.
It's a Gen Z meme.
Is it?
That wasn't on my bingo card. Anything, something crazy happens, you know?
I'm doing a book bingo right now where you got to read like
Oh,
a book
okay.
that came out this year, or a book that, I don't know, was a bestseller. And yada, yada.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And when you get a line of them, you go, bingo.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know how you
Bingo,
can.
bingo
you
is integrated
competing
in our
against people?
everyday
No.
lives, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
Trying to read more.
When you get a bingo, do you stop reading forever?
I did it.
That's the payoff.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Christoph Waltz. Hello.
Yes, Shauna is still trapped in the freezer and being hassled by Jackie. And Jackie's really laying into her. I'm the most interesting thing about you. But luckily, Randy to the rescue with the snacks. He's in the kitchen. He hears that she's in there, lets her out. She runs away.
Oh,
And
shit. Shauna?
She goes to the front desk and she wants to know where Misty is because Misty clearly locked her in the freezer. She left hours ago. Who did that then?
It is funny that the woman at the front desk is like, I don't get paid enough to deal with this lady's
What
crazy.
are you talking about?
Someone tried to kill you in the freezer? Are you sure you just didn't lock the door behind you?
Did you drink my beer that was in there?
But can you imagine, like, Shauna's like, someone tried to kill me in the bathroom at a restaurant, and now someone's trying to kill me in a nursing home freezer. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Plus my, what's it called? Break
Breaks.
Break booster.
booster. Never heard of that.
I don't mean either.
I think it's made up. Mechanics do be doing that.
Oh, it was the mechanic all along. That's
Bum,
Hillary
bum,
Swank.
She takes off her mask, the mask of the mechanic, and it's Hillary Swank.
It's becoming Scooby-Doo, but with Hillary Swank. And I would have got away with it too. Back in the past, the coach is still on the stand. He tells how he didn't want to be a teacher. He doesn't even like kids. You were at Wiscaic High for 9 years. And then I like it's corny. It mostly worked for me though, but you guys are annoyingly fucking relentless. And then it like cuts to all the girls like, we are.
Yeah, we're catty.
You guys were underdogs. I left because I was trying to get away from my own. I was going crazy, talking to my ex I guess kind of ex because forcibly ex.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
The person I'm not with currently.
he breaks down. He's honest and genuine. I was scared that I was next, right? And he looks right at Shauna, and this part did super work for me. I'm so fucking sorry, right? Specifically for leaving her when she was giving birth in labor. And you guys are so incredible. You are eating each other. Don't love that. But the fact that you're surviving is so cool. No further questions. Misty thinks she nailed it, right? In the present, Shauna has a cat now. She drove out there to trick the people who lost that cat into thinking their cat is returned 2 years later.
Jeff's response is so
No
funny.
fucking way. Is that the cat from the flyer?
Why is there a cat? Do we have a cat now? No fucking way. Is that the cat from the fly? Like, I love his.
No, that cat is super dead.
I went all over to all these rescue shelters, went to New York City, and found a duplicate cat.
Don't give notes on my karma.
Well,
You're right,
maybe,
honey. It was
hold on,
thoughtful.
I just realized. I mean, could we assume that Lottie was in New York City and Shauna went to New York City? Maybe Shauna killed Lottie.
Well, they're all in New York City.
Well, I guess
Like
that's
Columbus
true.
Circle's in New York City.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that they were all in Jersey.
Well, I mean, like in this episode, all the characters are in New York
gotcha.
City. At least Van, Taissa, and Lottie for sure are. And that guy with the card.
And Shauna was in there for a little bit.
Shauna.
Mhm.
That's true. You're right.
I didn't make
It's a
that
little
connection
sus.
until now.
She just killed Lottie. Fuck you, Lottie. I love that Shauna calmly just went and murdered Lottie.
Yeah.
After
And
being
stay away
pissed
from
at
my
Misty.
daughter.
Then got a cat.
Yeah.
It's like, what's next on my to-do list?
Ooh, she's allergic to cats.
Just running errands.
What's on my to-do list? Okay, help at the old folks' home, go get some paper towels, kill Lottie, get a cat.
Get a
Get
cat.
some pussy.
Get some
Bed Bath Beyond.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have enough time.
But Taissa is surprising Van. It's the whole bit from season 1 where she wanted to take her and buy her a pretzel and ride a horse and carriage in the city.
That was cute.
Here, you pay for it. I don't have any money. Oh, I got you. But then she sees that Van's hand is shaking. And I thought this was the cancer or whatever. This is going to spur Ty into killing that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I figure this is. But back in the past, it's time for a vote.
2/3 majority to win.
Yeah.
Nat and Misty cannot vote.
No,
Why can Ty vote?
Ty doesn't vote, does she?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't. She
The three of them don't vote.
Oh, okay. I just wrote down because she explicitly called out Misty and herself, but I don't remember her calling out Ty. And I was like, why does Ty get to vote then?
Yeah, none of the three of them can vote, which is dumb. And they vote over and over and over and over.
One more time.
They never and over.
One more time.
They never have a 2/3 majority.
One more time.
And Shauna is like death staring the people who don't vote to kill Coach or for guilty verdict. We assume the penalty would be death. And Shauna's just fucking like bullying them. And Lottie starts tripping. And then Travis votes yes, guilty. And I hated this.
Because he's drunk, right?
I hated this so much. Like the fact that they let Shauna do this. They just keep talking over Natalie, and she just straight up bullies them into this.
Yeah, this is the most like up to this point, I had been mostly enjoying the episode, and then this scene happened, and then everything that kind of comes after it is all the bad shit about this episode for the most part. Because you can't go from
That's
this
fucking power.
Oh, fucking goddamn!
I hated that.
You can't go from Coach Ben's speech and everyone's crying because they're like, "Oh, he's right. He couldn't have killed us," and they're like, "No, he didn't do it. He didn't do it." Oh, Shauna gave me a mean look. Yeah, he definitely did it. Let's kill him. Like, I don't know. It was not.
I guess it's just like the fear mongering of Shauna. Like it's not, it's believable, but not this believable. Does that make sense? Like, and I almost feel like they're trying to like paint this narrative of like Shauna versus Natalie at some point. I feel like that's going to come to fruition where these two characters are going to be like, there's going to be a new sense of leadership in the young group of girls. And I think it'll be between Shauna and Nat. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this, especially after, I mean, the verdict is clear. Like there is unreasonable doubt that he could have not done it.
Yeah, and like a part of me wonders if like Shauna doesn't even fully believe it. She just wants to start killing people because she's so mad at everyone for the situation. Like she has so much angst, she just wants to start killing folk. And this is just a way for her to kind of get that out, because it is so silly to have this huge episode-long trial and then they're voting, and then Shauna goes like, "Guys, I know we just had a trial, but counterpoint, no." And they're like, "Oh, okay." Like what she told them was not different than anything else that any of them all have heard, and they're just like, "Oh, Shauna, okay. I don't want Shauna to look mean at me."
She is mean.
Travis like, I'm doing a lot right now, and I don't have the bravery and courage of Mortimer, and I can't do it. Akila, where's Mortimer? Do you think that bunny had something to do with it? They did like do this shot where Akila's holding the bunny, and it like focuses on the bunny's face, and the bunny's looking directly at camera, being all like, "Wee wee wee wee."
It was a lot of bunny. I don't know why.
Is the bunny the wilderness?
Yeah, it's it. Travis is looking at the outcome.
But I mean, I guess like the wilderness does some spooky stuff, and that's what encourages Lottie to change her vote, and Lottie changing her vote.
No, it was the gas. It's the gas that got the bear high to walk into camp all docile. It's the gas.
Is this like a control find the word wilderness and replace it with gas, and
Gas pedal.
the gas talks to Lottie?
But then that doesn't explain the symbol. Never mind.
The symbol is a like stay away symbol to locals, that it's a polluted area.
Oh yeah,
why
that's
it's
what
everywhere.
that means. Don't go up that road. The symbol's there. That's why we put the symbol up. It's very clear and concise.
The one-legged girl in a dress. Classic communication for stay out. I wouldn't put a sign that says toxic area. Mm-hmm. I would put the one-legged girl in a dress, but crooked. Anyway.
It makes complete sense.
I'm the prospector from Toy Story. Back in the present, Misty is looking at Svetlana's shit with a black light, because she suspected it's from Walter, as I knew. Walter texts her and says, heard about Lottie, are you okay? And it's like she's logged into the Citizen Detective site at the time. And there's like a no spoilers thing on it.
Spoilers for episode 4.
Yeah. And she's like, fuck it, I need to know. And Lottie is dead.
Woo!
She fell down a stairwell or something. She's at the bottom of a stairwell. She's dead.
There's creepy candles up the staircase. Like it's a culty
she
spot.
She fell while she was lighting her candles. She was going to make a romantic apology. Fuck. So it went wrong. And that's the end of the episode. But now it's time for some other things. But first, a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Hello, Stream Fiends. It is the month of February. That's right. I really enunciate the R in February. It's a weird quirk of mine. No apologies will be given, but a huge shout of thanks and gratitude will be given to all of our patrons here at Streaming Things. But I want to give a special shout out to our super patrons for the month of February. So thank you to Alex, Aubrey Carell, Daniel Pack, Nice Guy Eddie, Tulloon, Jordan Garvin, Albus Stinkpot, Haley, Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim X, Lady Trashley, Sean Myers, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E. Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Bluff Pump, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Jer Latanowicz, Kaylee Sampson, Rabid Dog in a Barbie Car, Elbander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jadinklage Morgoon, Chloe, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Brenda, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, The Thrift Creeper, Casey McCain, and of course, Enza. And with that, let's get back to the show. I love you.
And we're back. It's time for our choice cuts, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode. Why did I say that like a diva? It's time for our choice cuts.
God.
Madison, what is your number 3 favorite moment of episode 4?
My number 3 is when we're introduced to Bingo, where Jeff is riffing off his dad jokes. It was just really, really silly, really fun. Had a good time, and I was like, oh, Jeff finally found his niche, his little people.
These are my people.
These are
Andy.
My number 3 is Jeff getting home after bingo, and Shauna's there with the cat, and her idea of karma is to fake it out. And I just love his reaction. Like, is that the fucking cat? No. Funny. Good shit.
My number 3 is Jackie in the freezer with Shauna. I don't know why it got me so much. I guess because Ella Purnell is so much more than this show now, that I don't expect her to come back. So when she came back last episode, I'm like, that was fun to see Ella Purnell. Won't see her again the rest of the season. So when it comes over and she's just talking shit to Shauna, I was like, oh dang, girl's back, homegirl's here. And I just love what she said, like, because Shauna definitely like is the villain of the season for sure. And so it's good to see people like put her in her place and humble her a little bit. And just that line where she's like, I'm the most interesting thing about you. Did you become the person you always wanted to be, or did you become this? And it's like, oh damn, Jackie, damn. Also, it's kind of funny that she gets locked in a freezer and she's trying to save herself with meat, cold meat, and then cold meat Jackie's right there talking shit. Oh, symbolism, baby.
And she dropped cold meat is how she got distracted.
Yeah.
Meat.
What about you, Kit? Your number 3?
My number 3 is when Misty kind of pulls the game time card on being a lawyer. You know, can't say that shit out there if we're going to win this. I just really enjoy Samantha Hanratty, and it was a return of them having something for her to do. And I have all the faith in the world in Misty, you know? So yeah, that's my number 3. Madison, your number 2.
My number 2 is when Shauna pulls up to the nursing home and realizes, oh, it's Misty. Like, this is where Misty works. And, Jeff's like, oh, we probably won't see her. And then here comes Misty walking towards the car. It was just a fun interaction, and I liked their banter between the two of them.
Andy.
My number 2 is Jackie with Shauna in the freezer. The most interesting thing about you line was so cutting. It was fucking fire. But yeah, love having Ella Purnell back.
My number 2 is Kit's number 3. It's when Misty becomes Ben's lawyer and she like punches him, and she's like, at first she's mad because of all the things that have happened with those two characters in the past, and like, you tried to kill us, and he's just like, I have no reason to lie to you. I didn't do this. And just the way that she kind of just accepts him in that moment, and then immediately was like, you're not going to say that shit out there. With me as your lawyer, I'm going to get you up, but I need you to in the game, kid. Like, I just love that energy that she has. Mm-hmm. And it was just nice to see someone like finally be on Coach Ben's side. Mm-hmm. So I like that one.
My number 2 is Jeff at bingo. And the guy going full Anakin Skywalker. Now this is bingo. It's just it's a good time. It's a good old rootin' tootin' good time.
Whee!
Madison, your number 1 moment.
My number 1 is the end of the trial where Coach is giving his apologetic monologue, and also just this monologue of like how much he like actually appreciates the girls, and like is just talking about how great they are and annoyingly fucking relentless they are. I think Steven Kruger's performance was really good during the scene. And yeah, I really liked it. I think it was really good.
My number 1 is Jeff at bingo.
Nice.
It was fucking hysterical.
Nice.
I just love seeing him in his element, and Randy being all put off. Like, hey, this is my job. It was just fun.
My number 1 is Madison's number 1. It's the Coach Ben on trial scene. I really like this scene a lot. Not only is Coach Ben's performance incredible in it, I think this is one of the I actually got a little emotional in this scene. Like, I was tearing up during it. And I really liked how it also opened up the lore of these characters. Like, he's like, if I didn't like you guys, like the whole your fucking relentless thing was funny. But then when he goes on to like, if I wanted to kill you, like if I really like you guys, if I hated you, I would have turned you in to your parents, Ty and Van. When I caught the two of you having a relationship in the 90s, that probably was something that another teacher would have done, and it would have been real shitty. Like, I didn't put you on the team, Misty, because I knew you would have been bullied and picked on, but I made you the equipment manager. Which she still got bullied, but like, I guess not
not as bad.
Yeah, not as bad. And then this is the way, like, my family sucked, and I wanted to look out for you guys the way I never got looked out for, and I still failed you, and I'm so fucking sorry. And that was just heartbreaking because I don't know, like, and he stays true to his character. He doesn't confide in the girls why his parents didn't care for him. I assume the fact that he's gay. Yeah. He doesn't come out with them, but he's really earnest. And at that moment, I'm like, man, they're gonna do some fuckery to actually get him killed after this. And it's so unbelievable. After that, how do you kill that guy?
I really hope he's just still there.
At the end of the show?
Him?
And they go back as adults somehow, and he's just this Tom Hanks castaway guy. I have made fire.
He's in the cave talking to whoever he's talking to.
And I picture like he doesn't have crutches anymore. He's got like a prehistoric prosthetic, and like that would be so awesome. Just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
I'd be in.
He should have demanded a trial by combat, because I know he's got one leg, but he could probably take him.
Who would he have picked?
Fucking fight me. How about that?
Who would he have picked for his representative in a trial by combat?
Himself.
Oh, okay.
You can do that. It's just Tyrion can't. So he always.
I'm just saying. I figure Coach Ben would be like, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, thin out that herd. You know what I'm saying?
Misty, do it.
I would pick Misty.
Yeah.
Or
he would
Shauna.
Fight himself, and they would probably go for Shauna.
Oh yeah.
Just crutch to the face.
That would be cathartic. I hate
anyway.
her.
But since he didn't do that, my number 1 moment is also the coach on the stand, Steven Kruger. I picked him last week too, I think, but amazing performance. It was emotional, especially when he apologized directly to Shauna. And I think that's why what happens after this is so dumb, is because they do all seem genuinely moved by this, including Shauna.
Yeah.
And she's just so rock off a cliff for no reason. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, kid, have you considered that is fucking power?
I hadn't till Melissa brought that up. And I was like, oh, I guess. That means it's time for our honeycombs. I actually don't have any. Does anybody have any honeycombs?
When Ty and Van were sitting outside of there was like a movie theater. On the movie theater, it said Kill Bill.
Oh,
Volume 1, I think.
In 70 millimeter print.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only one that I got.
Must have been Lincoln Center.
Aside from music.
That was all I had too.
Yeah, just the music.
They got the Cranberries.
Oh, I love Linger by the Cranberries. As soon as those notes hit, I'm just like, yeah, it's one of my favorite songs. I love that one.
You have to.
The Sign. I forget who sings this. I saw the sign.
Yeah, I only remember it from Pitch Perfect.
That's a good one.
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. Thank you, Andy. Yeah, that's it.
Not the Bellas.
Fresh Blood by the Eels. And then obviously.
Okay, yeah.
And then obviously we talked about it before, but 12 Angry Men. The whole one more time thing is something that they do in 12 Angry Men. So,
but they're supposed to talk about it between, not just vote again.
Right. One more time.
Seriously, raise your hands.
One more time.
Okay, for realsies. Okay, that's the honeycombs. Now it's time for our buzzworthy performance, our favorite performance of episode 4. Madison, to whom are you giving it?
I think Stephen Kruger did a really good job, but I think Samantha Hanratty deserves the buzz performance this episode. We haven't seen her in a minute. She hasn't done, she hasn't carried the weight of an episode for a while, and I think she really carried a lot of the weight in the trial, which was the most interesting part of the episode. So I would like to give it to Samantha Hanratty, which also, I don't know if we've mentioned this, but she's pregnant this season. The actress is pregnant, and it's funny, I was watching promo for season 3, and both Christina Ricci and Samantha Hanratty, both Misties, have been pregnant on the show, which I think is really funny. Anyway.
I do like, I'm sure you follow her on Instagram, but Samantha? Yeah, Samantha's like behind the scenes stuff. Like
cool.
I forget, Stephen Kruger's married to an actress from like Vampire Diaries or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That Hanratty was on. But it was cute. Like they're all at dinner and she's like selfie mode with her and Steven. And she's like, it's so good to be back with one of the most talented actors I've ever met. And I missed working with you so much. And then like his wife's name, they die laughing. It's just, she seems really fun.
Yeah.
Andy, your nomination.
I'm going to give it to Jeff, Warren Cole, Woody Harrelson himself. I just thought that he was fucking fire in this episode, and he looks a lot like Woody Harrelson.
I was like, what did I miss?
There's also a part where he sounded like Christopher Walken.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
When he was talking. Yeah.
Wow.
When he was talking to the people in the nursing home.
The cat.
I got this thing.
I want to change my comma. I'm also picking Samantha Hanratty. I think Stephen Kruger is amazing, and that scene did bring me to tears. But Samantha Hanratty is doing this awesome thing in this episode where she's walking this fine line of being a believable, quote unquote, lawyer, but also like being funny but serious, and like her character's emotional journey on this episode is the one with the biggest, the most diverse emotions, right? And just watching her nail every single one. And like, I could just, again, we kind of joke about how we wish Yellowjackets would just be a adult Misty and Walter detective show. I would watch a Law and Order in the Woods mock trial show with Samantha Hanratty leading the charge. Like that would be such a lot of fun, I think. So I'm going to give it to Samantha Hanratty as well.
I am going to give it to Stephen Kruger. I'll be that guy.
Do it.
It just hit me, man. I think he's never been allowed to do much, but just kind of be, are you guys going to eat him? You know,
just aghast.
I'm going to be sad in my room.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about losing their way with so many of our favorite characters, but they've made room for Coach, and it's not worth it, but it's close.
Most of the characters in this show have sort of like diminished in how well written they are, but Coach skyrocketed this season. Like Coach Ben has been like the best arc so far this season.
Yeah, he's given him a lot to stand on.
Nice.
With that one leg.
Thanks, Andy.
In case the people in the back didn't catch it.
He's always there to Mr. Kool-Aid, a subtle pun.
You got it.
I got one leg.
It's honest work, guys.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. But that brings us to the end of our coverage of Yellowjackets this week. We are looking forward to episode 5. It's fun stuff. We'll see where it goes. Who's Pit Girl? When's Hillary Swank coming? Who killed Lottie? We don't know. We probably won't find out next week, but we will get closer. Ish.
We hope.
Thank you guys for checking us out. Listen to our Severance coverage, our Game of Thrones coverage, our Midnight Mass coverage, our Arcane coverage. All that's on patreon.com/streamingthings.
Midnight Mass starts next week.
That's right.
This week, we're going to get a chosen film of Equilibrium, 2002's own Equilibrium.
It's going to be fun stuff.
I'm so excited about that one.
It's going to be fun stuff. Check that out. Thank you guys for listening. That's all the time we have for this week. We've got to go return some videotapes for our VHS player. My name is Kit.
My name is Madison.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
It's a VCR. And this was Streaming Things, streaming Yellowjackets.
Happy streaming.